Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos and Abuja. A reminder of our top stories. President Jonathan to meet 36 state governors and service chiefs tomorrow. Some Muslim mothers in Ilori protest abduction of Borno schoolgirls by Boko Haram. Borno lawmakers suggest more security presence in schools to allow students return to school in peace. And United States Vice President Joe Biden warns Russia to stop talking and start acting to defuse the Ukraine crisis. But just a reminder to you that all our top stories are on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. And then you can interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your reports, pictures, and videos. Well, over now to Abuja, and here's Linda Akigbe. Linda.
Thank you, Joma, and welcome to the nation's capital. The 20 committees of a national conference have commenced their sitting and consideration of different themes the conference hopes to make key recommendations on. Some of the committees immediately started outlining their work plan, with a few planning to invite different agencies of government to make presentations before them. Other committees have also taken steps to ensure they complete their work within the 2 weeks given for committee work, like deciding to sit on Friday and Saturday. Our correspondent Larry Lasisi has this report.
After weeks of meeting in plenary, delegates at the National Conference resumed from their Easter break to their respective committees to commence a more critical part of their assignment. Some of the committees barred journalists from covering their activities, while other committees were open to the press. Some of the committees commenced by trying to decide on their work plan.
Most of the issues we are going to discuss have been recommended, particularly the political conference of 2005, has a very detailed set of recommendations. So I think our job really is to review. What we don't agree, we say we don't agree. What we want to add, we add.
It is not feasible for us to discuss these issues one by one and everybody brainstorm and come to an agreement. We should rather decide whether we are taking one of these committees, as he said, and come up with their recommendations and now get a consensus on the ones we agree and not agree.
That I agree completely with the broad outline established by the co-chair in terms of not having to take all of these de novo, as if there are fresh issues that had never been tabled before. But my suggestion would be that rather than use Begore, I would want to suggest we use the waste report.
Then certain things I would like us to discuss in some detail. Concepts that we all believe in that may come up as obstacles later on. I would like us to share our thoughts on the meaning, the implication of fairness in discussion. I would also like us to discuss bigotry. What exactly is it? How does it manifest?
Some committees got down to work and started discussing their theme. As expected, sometimes the delegates disagreed.
I'm going to be invited. One, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigerian Customs Service, Central Bank of Nigeria, National Productivity Center.
But at that time, the Bata tribe were very strong. So if a Fulani man...
Point of observation.
Yeah.
Please, I did not in any way...
No, let me...
Excuse me.
No, you...
Justification or otherwise...
No, I'm not talking about... Just listen.
What has happened...
I allowed you to talk. So you allow me to talk, please.
No, just information.
Point of order.
So, Mr. Chairman.
I will take control of this meeting.
Please.
I want us to be absolutely sure of one thing in our mind. We have come here to discuss the land tenure issue and boundary matters.
Yes.
Anything that has been said should be taken as personal to whoever introduced it.
Yeah.
If we find it out of context with what we're here to discuss, we will say so. So let us not have quarrel between two people.
The issue of the amount of work on ground and the time available was also discussed.
We need time to do a thorough work. If we all agree with this, let's commit ourselves to work out to Saturday.
This issue was also considered in other committees.
The chairman brought a proposal so that we can make up the time. One, we have our break, we reduce it from 2 hours to 1 hour. And instead of us to start by 10, we'll start by 9 from tomorrow. And we extend our own up to 6:30. Then we have considered Fridays and Saturdays, if the need arises, to make sure that we are able to finish our work within the 2 weeks framework.
If we have more time, then we probably will be able to discuss more. But for now, we left the meetings today with all kinds of assignments. Many of us will have to work far into the night to get our papers ready for the meeting tomorrow. So it's a lot of hard work, and we hope to work within the time available.
And we believe what is worth doing is worth doing well. We don't mind working 24 hours. We believe that we have to work at our time. We have to be good managers. You know, because of the intensity of time, we believe that we can work within the period. We even believe that all things be equal, maybe before weekend or this weekend, we can even complete our job.
People decided that there's a need for us to sacrifice. And then as the proceeding go on, that if there's a need for more sacrifice, we are ready to do that. But our own committee will have resolved that we'll be the last to ever ask for extension. That within the time frame that we are giving, we must make do with that and give Nigerians adequate resolution.
According to the approved work plan for the conference, the committees have 2 weeks to complete their work. Now, the weeks ahead will determine if the time given is sufficient or not. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Maritime security needs to be strengthened to effectively tackle sea piracy and other maritime crime. But the Nigerian Navy says it is winning the war both within the nation's coastal area and the African continent. One of the areas the country is involved with international partners in training its officers and men in this regard is through Exercise Obangame, a multinational maritime drill. Our correspondent Kelvin Obeta reports.
The Gulf of Guinea is the operational area for Exercise Obangame Express, now in its 4th edition. It's one of 4 United States, Europe, Africa facilitated regional exercises whose overall objective is to enhance maritime and regional security. Director of Navy in the Ministry of Defense is accompanied by the flag officer commanding Western Naval Command to observe activities. The exercise focuses on increasing capabilities to stamp out piracy, illicit trafficking, and other maritime threats within the Gulf of Guinea. In Lagos area alone, 12 countries are participating. We are on board NNS Thunder, one of the participating vessels in the Obangame exercise. We've been informed that this exercise is conducted simultaneously in Gabon, Cameroon, and Lagos. 14 foreign vessels, in addition to 9 Nigerian Navy vessels, are involved in the exercise. Naval personnel are trained in boarding techniques, search and rescue operations, radio communication and information management skills.
When piracy is reported on board, the essential thing we do is to board such ship, to fight the pirates or to arrest them. And that is what we are practicing today.
Although piracy and crude theft seems to have reduced, the Navy says it is still faced with challenges in sustaining the exercise and to enhance its presence at the sea.
You can see what is happening here. Without adequate platform, we cannot do this. Thank God we have an NS Thunder and a couple of ships out there, but we need more.
It is not a peculiar problem to our nation alone. It is a general problem, and I think the issue of funding will be taken seriously at the top level of government so that appropriate funding can be attracted for the services, because security is very, very important in a nation like ours.
More so, considering Nigeria's economic status and its place in international security, many believe that she should be building its own ships.
You cannot domesticate technology without your steel industries doing what they should do. Our steel industries should be made to be, producing to capacity, such that we can even use whatever we want, the amount we need for the country, and even be able to export.
Further to the objectives, the Obangame exercise will also afford the Nigerian Navy to take stock and assess the operational state of its ships, as well as reassure international partners of its ability to handle maritime crime. From the high sea in the Gulf of Guinea, Kelvin Obetin, Channels Television News.
That's all from Abuja. Back to you, Ijoma.
All right, thanks a lot, Linda, all the way from the FCT. Now, still ahead on the news at 10, economic activities resume after the Easter break. That's on Business News. You join us again.